Hey, friends and family from Ronny's Farm to Table. A lot of things to do today, a couple repair things. I gotta fix the tent, um, fix some of the contamination issues. I figured out some good ways, which I will explain later. And I'm gonna build a little wooden shelf for my dark tent because I need one of the rolling shelves and I only have four. And in video number 2 or 3, you can see that I only used 4 to set up my interior shelving. So we have to fix that, get one solid wood one in there so we can still keep going that system. And so I have one rolling one outside for running it between the sauna and the growing room. And it's a moist day. It rained a little bit yesterday, about 2/10 of an inch. But we take it. It was awfully dry in the valley. And let's get to it. Lots of things to do. So, to start off the day with a job that will be successful for sure, I'm going to do the shelves here quick. I only need to cut 6 boards for it. It's not going to be a wide shelf or anything. It's going to be rather narrow because it will be more of a support bracket than a shelf itself. You will see inside what I mean by that. It shouldn't take too long. Right, Ace? Let's get to it. Here we are in the Berliner room, and I encountered a problem here when we were doing the substrate totes with me and my wife about a week ago by now, that I only had 4 metal shelves with wheels on the bottom. And there, as I set it up before, you probably remember I have 2 metal shelves on each end of the tent and then wooden boards in the center. And I thought it would be pretty easy to take them apart and deal with them, but it's a bit of a hassle. So to have a more permanent solution, I'm going to build a little narrow shelf, which will be exactly about the same height as those shelves over there, and have it permanently on one side. Yeah, let's get to it. Those shelves are back assembled in the dark tent over there. I did that because I needed to go through each bag on the growing tent looking for the contamination issue. And I learned yesterday a couple things. So long as it's white, you're fine. So some of the ones that I got freaked out about, the mushroom basically went to the top, and it's kind of logical. That's what the mushroom does in the forest too. It goes through the layer of leaves and earth and water and comes out, and it has an upward trend. And the thing that really freaked me out was just how white it was on top, but it's very common. I talked with somebody about it, and you gotta watch for color now. I found 2 bags which are right on the edge where I'm suspicious about cobweb mold, but the rest looks pretty good. So let me turn you guys around and let's take a look here. Right here, those are the chestnuts, and you can see they're white in color still. Coming pretty good along. Then we have the white oysters, and there's one that really freaked me out because it was all white on top, as well as this one. But it's all good. We're good. So long they stay white, that's the right kind of mushroom that I want to grow. When I look down here on the golden oysters, I have over there 2 bags, which are a little bit suspicious because the coloring. Let me take them out so you can kind of see it. Let's see, you see that little web there? It has a grayish color, but it's very common to mistake early on in the bags a cobweb mold versus a mycelium good mushroom mold. So I will let it sit here for another 48 hours and let's see what's going to happen with it. So, but overall, look at that one. That one is colonizing beautifully, as well as this one. They're all doing pretty good. Here we got a big blotch of colonization going on. And actually the one that was the most inactive most of the time was a lion's mane, but look at that. It's coming along here. 7 more days or so, and I will be able to open them up and let the mushrooms out. So that was my update on contamination. I'm gonna keep an eye on those 2 back there, and we will take it from there. A little bit of an additional information. So with cobweb mold, it's one of the easiest to control molds that there is. Basically what you're going to use is a hydrogen peroxide solution, 3%. You put it in a little mister bottle and you have to open up the bag, but make sure that you don't have an airstream or anything. So I will have my still lab box here when I need to do it. Open up the bags, spray it in, and then what you can imagine is like it's like cotton candy getting wet. It immediately dissolves and kills the bad mold, but leaves the mushroom untouched, the gourmet mushroom variety that I want. Which is really interesting that the gourmet mushrooms are really resistant to that, but molds are not. Very easy way to control it. How I said, you just gotta make sure that you don't open it up in an area where if it starts to produce spores, the mold, that the spores go in your room and all of a sudden you have your room contaminated with it. When I say contamination too, I don't mean it is dirtier or anything like that. It just means that I have an organism in my substrate bag that is able to outcompete my mushrooms. And for me, that's considered, for mushroom growers, it's considered the contamination factor. So I'm done in here for right now. I'm gonna go outside and start fixing the passive heat tent. Let's see how that goes. Back at it again, huh? So we had the passive heat tent yesterday with the strong winds. What I think happened is it blew in the front underneath it, puffed it up, then this side started to open up. And then the wind changed a little bit, coming directly from this direction and kind of started ripping it open. So here's the game plan. I'm gonna be restapling everything, put some more lath over it, and then I'm gonna build a little bottom wall all the way around it. I think on this side here, I will be having it sticking out a little bit, because when you look in the yard, you can see that there's a driveway, and most of the time that's where the strong winds are blowing. Everything else has kind of trees around the property, but the driveway is pretty empty. So that's one of the channels where the wind is blowing really strong in the winter down here. And I think when it comes from this way, it will be just fine too. So by having it a little bit stick over, I think I can eliminate that it's able to creep underneath it again. Let's get do it, right, Kaiser? Are you? I got it done. It was a lot of hammering that I didn't expect, but I don't think there's any wind that kind of can creep underneath it. And once we have snow, the snow will go up on the site either way. So we will see how this is going to hold up now, coming up the winter and everything. But it should hold up pretty good now, I hope. Well, let's keep it short and sweet. Oh, he says, all right. He likes that. So the mushroom contamination management seems to be okay. I will be able to figure things out. And even though it looked pretty scary yesterday and I look scared too, things are pretty good. Come on, Kaiser. Let's go inside. So hey, thank you guys for watching again.